I chose to document my own city, which was Macedonia, Ohio. It's located about halfway between Cleveland and Akron. I chose to do my own because I am frequently immersed in the neighborhood, so I really am able to get a close perspective and make very close observations of what is going on and what actually makes up Macedonia. This is broken down into three different categories: the social, physical, and economic. And then I dove into each one of them in a little more detail to really help understand what makes each of these categories. So, jumping right into the social aspect, I chose to do this by making observations at the local Starbucks. So, I made observations throughout the day, so at the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. And what I noticed was that in the morning, right around the 8 or 9 o'clock hour, it is probably at its busiest. There are a lot of people in professional clothing coming in and out. It's very busy, it's bustling, they are fully staffed. It's people, I assume, coming in to grab their coffee before work, so there's a lot of in and out. And then as we shift into the afternoon, it definitely dies down. It's less crowded, but there's definitely still people working there. I also noticed that this is a time that there are more elderly people there who are simply just enjoying a drink or reading. And then as we go into the evening, it's predominantly younger people who usually are doing homework. So, making these observations, I noticed that there are a lot of different interactions. There were people who were meeting up other people there, whether it was family or friends or acquaintances. And then there were also business meetings there. But then there were also interactions that weren't necessarily between friends, but between acquaintances who have gotten to know each other just out of the continual habitual um, act of coming and going. For example, the relationship between a lot of the customers and the staff there. People may not necessarily be friends, but they've grown to know each other. This sense of interaction can possibly also be seen in other places. I wasn't able to observe more, but this idea of connections being made could also be seen at the high school, for instance, at football games, at local salon and spas, or even at the rec center. And then shifting into the physical aspect of this, Macedonia is definitely more suburban. There is, however, a hub with many restaurants, stores, and then branching off of this hub are the different developments. The living situation is mostly homes. There aren't nearly as many apartments, and most of these homes do have yard spaces. Even when looking into these different neighborhoods, you see a lot of people walking dogs, you see families and younger children as well. And then as we dive right into the economic aspect of it, there are many amenities. There's restaurants, car services, hotels, and a lot of times these places you see cars in the parking lot and people coming and going, which would indicate that it is economically stable, that the businesses are doing well. I chose to dive into this a little deeper and did a Google search and found that the median household income is about $87,000, which places then the community right about in the middle class rank there. Some takeaways from this was that I noticed it's a very habitual environment. It's people who have a routine and a ritual, such as the people coming in and out of Starbucks. You notice a lot of the same people. You even notice the same people passing you in cars during the same time on your commute, either to school or work. One thing I noticed that I often see these interactions, but you don't really consider them. You just kind of accept them. But doing this research, you really begin to get a better understanding of what is going on behind these and how deep these interactions and these connections go.